Welcome back, Exiles, for the final event for this weekend. We have the grand final Izaro kill. RaizQT, Goratha, Heshla, and DeadandDoom successfully completed the Dominus kill challenge and made it to the finals.
I love that you worked in grand finale.
That was actually an accident the second time too, by the way.
Perfect. Oh, I love it. Super excited for this race. We've had some excellent semifinals. Very interesting looking playing field here, because I saw that Raiz played Trapper Blade Vortex in the first round, I believe, and he's playing Shadow. So I don't know what we're going to see, some secret tech or something unusual from him, possibly. Interesting.
So this was another main story boss kill that was like behind Dominus. You probably see a bunch of melee characters, but this is Izaro. This is actually before Dominus. I usually can do it quite beforehand. But since, you know, we're requiring players to do trials, and Izaro can be pretty spooky. It is a level 33 zone, I believe. Let's see some different strategies. So we have two shadows, two duelists. It's very interesting.
Ooh. Izaro is super spooky. I have not scoped out today's labyrinth. Have you had a look at today's labyrinth?
I have not checked it out as well, but maybe we can take a moment and look at poelab.com and see what they got. I will do that right now.
Very useful tool. Highly recommend players use it for all their labyrinthing needs. We can get a little bit of an idea of what players are going to be facing today, because certainly some Izaros are scarier than others. The swords being the scariest for Izaro himself, with those slashing cleaves being super spooky.
Exactly. It's like we have a two-handed mace Izaro, with the first side being conduits, second being portals, the last just being his natural trap room. Should be pretty safe, I'd say, right? Conduits
that's
could be
not
spooky.
too bad that's not too bad as far as Izaros go. They certainly could have had much worse here. And like you said, that different setups kind of will excel at this compared to other races that we've done. Izaro is got a huge health pool, and single target to get him down as quickly as possible is the safest you can do. If you can kill him really quickly, then it makes those fights a lot easier.
Portals can be pretty scary too. Like, these racers are going to be entering the Izaro room at level 20, 24. So their damage is going to be extremely low. So portals might actually be scary, and they might actually want to kill them.
Yeah, dealing with the ads from the portals might actually be a bit too much with the level of damage we'll be seeing from these players. The race is off. I noticed that DeadandDoom is now renamed himself to Dominus out of respect for Dominus's efforts in the last
Interesting.
race, getting him with that kill.
Would have liked at least a Dominus in Doom or a DeadandDominus, but we'll go with Dominus for now.
Dominus, yeah. Just a straight up Dominus. A sign of respect there for sure from DeadandDoom, I think. I noticed you've also put DeadandDoom down in the bottom right, which is supposedly the cursed position for
supposedly. I didn't choose it, it just happened to be the order of things. You know.
Sure.
You just have the 1, 2, 3, and 4, you know, top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. In the two races. Just the way the stars aligned. So I am extremely curious what Raiz and Heshla will play. Heshla has not played the Trapper BV combo yet, so I imagine he'll pull that out.
I saw a Frostblades from Raiz for his starting skill. Was that a Frostblades?
It is indeed a Frostblades, but
he picks up 2 wands though.
Who gets a green, blue wand? Maybe some arch. He's actually Frostblading, huh?
I think he's just using that Frostblades for the very start here, and has a longer term plan for spellcasting, possibly some other traps, maybe some arc traps.
This is very interesting. A Frostblade's Shadow into a potential caster? This is the kind of strats that I want to see. Looks like he did have some secret strats up his sleeve. You know, he didn't do too much streaming yesterday, so he's doing some testing. This is very exciting stuff.
Me too. That's super interesting. So Frostblades is a very strong skill to rock on a duelist, but he's out of other skills that he'd want to use for the actual Izaro kill itself. So he opts instead to, you know, have some sort of caster transition, most likely here. Super interesting.
Exactly. He does not have Blade Vortex available since he used that in the previous round. He might be going with a damage over time buff since he did pick up Blight. Possibly could see an Essence Drain kill here.
Yeah, that's the thing, Chad. He's already used that Blade Vortex, which is the very strong choice for single target on a Shadow caster. But so yeah, we're going to be seeing something completely different here. Very interesting stuff.
So it looks like both of our shadows are opting for the Mudflats first, since they both need their level 4 Skull Gem reward whereas the melee players on the right side of the screen are going straight to Hellbreak.
Raz gets a shrine in his mud flats. It's an acceleration shrine too. That's going to help him grab those eggs nice and fast.
Maybe
That's
top
really
left is indeed lucky. Going a bit low to some blue mobs, but as a Frostbite, can take care of them. Has the unique ooze back on him as well, but is able to juke him easily, make sure the next robot nest, and pushes away to Submerged Passageway. Chat saying, I can move, man. Yes, right, indeed can move, and he can move pretty fast.
He indeed can. This time he is going to be moving. Raiz had a fantastic showing in the second round, going from 8th position in the times from the first round to just crushing his race in the second round. So
the first
proving that he's progressed from his first efforts.
Yep. D&D getting his 3-link RRG, red, red, green already. Looks like he's running a Cleave Molten Strike setup, most likely switching to Sunder. She believes is the best
Sunder for the last round. Yup.
No triple melee out of D&D this weekend, so he did pull out the Trapper in the first round.
Yeah, that's true. Coming around to the Trapper side of things after doing triple melee in the past. But actually seeing the strength of that for a first round picked, allowing you a bit more flexibility in those second and third rounds for your duelist runs.
Goratha seems to have a similar setup going at the moment, running the Double Strike and Cleave setup. He did use Molten Strike and Frostbite in the second round, so neither of those are available at the moment for him.
I imagine we'll be seeing a pretty quick swap out of Frostblades for Raiz. I suspect it was just for that very, very early game.
I think once he gets Contagion.
Yeah.
Contagion will be his Frostbomb-like mechanic, but we did see Waggle try that strategy in the previous race, and it did not look too hot in comparison to the Frostbomb players, so I'm very curious to see if Raiz can pull this off. Might have been link issues that Waggle had in the previous race.
Yeah, it seemed like for Waggle, like there was some potential for the strategy, but link issues as well, as if I recall, he had some pretty bad layouts as well. I mean, it could work pretty well if you can get that like +1 chaos nice and early as well. Then it might actually prove to be a little bit stronger than what we saw from Waggle's showing in the past.
For sure. A couple of viewers are asking, what is the time estimate for this race? So we've allotted an hour and a half. If they do reach the hour and a half mark, the lab will actually reset, being very difficult. But we believe most of these players will complete in around an hour.
Yeah, it'll be pretty interesting to see. You've done some of these Izaro kill races in the past. What sort of times have you seen in the past? Around that hour mark?
Yeah, it's been around the hour mark. D&D being at least one of the players I know that's able to consistently get under an hour. So I would at least expect like a 55 hour from him. And so we haven't done this race in a very long time, 8 months ago. But before that, most players were doing around hour 10, hour 20. Even though they did not know that they could go faster.
Yeah, and I don't think we've seen any practice from any of the players for this race as well specifically. Everyone was practicing more for that second round Dominus kill. So it's not as maybe a bit more rusty for actually doing that Labyrinth. They're going to have to remember to grab each of those trials, not forget any of that sort of stuff, and maybe do so in an order that makes sense and is nice and quick for them. And then actually run that Labyrinth nice and smoothly, hopefully.
Hopefully indeed. Heshla getting a nice freezing shrine along with his Frostbomb setup. He's going to be speeding ahead. Taking a look at a Raiz here. I want to see how this performs. I believe he has Arcane Surge on his Blight and his Contagion. Because large mana flash too, that's going to be really nice for him. So he throws it on this go pack, presses the blade a bit, and should be able to just walk ahead and clear most of the mobs, and he does indeed. So slightly slower than the Frostbomb, but seems to be working out okay.
Yeah, he's not like confident enough in that Contagion to get the kill alone. He's still kind of like just tapping them briefly with that Blight just to ensure the kill. So either he knows that's what needs to be done, like he just doesn't have the damage on that Contagion yet, or maybe he's a little unsure. But it looks like they kind of do need that Blight.
I wonder if Raiz will consider a Arc Trap setup. Its Arc is a very strong single target skill. And he does have the colors for it.
That's what I think we might see a transition into. I don't know about like Blight Contagion the whole way, for example. So it'll be interesting to see if we see a transition to that. It's a bit weak on the 3-link, but I think it gets pretty good on the 4-link, and there's enough time potentially for him to get a 4-link for that Arc Trap. Still though, it's not. That's not
Heshla just Alctor Essence his 3-link blue-green wand. He got +1 fire on it. Huge for his explosive trap swaps. He's going to be deleting every single boss now.
Very nice. Yeah, we're going to be seeing explosive trap into Blade Vortex most likely for Heshla, and that explosive trap is going to go very fast through Brutus and Merveil now as well.
Taking a look at the Racer's gears, doesn't look like anyone has move speed or anything too crazy just yet.
Yeah, our two Shadow players are definitely going to be hoping for some move speed. There's a lot of running to be done, especially in Labyrinth itself.
Definitely.
And even sidetracking for those lab trials as well. So they're gonna want a little bit of extra move speed to compete with the Leap Slams. The Leap Slams are very good in Labyrinth, allowing you to bypass some gauntlets a lot easier and jump over certain sections. That's true. Can take a lot longer if you have to run through them.
We might see Leap Slam players pull out the Blink Arrow swap though, or a Lightning Warp.
Yeah, it's true. We've seen DeadandDoom use the Blink Arrow to do skips in Act 4, but we could see it again for Labyrinth potentially. It is very strong on Labyrinth.
Taking a look at our players, DeadandDoom has already finished his Vendor. He is pushing into Lower Prison, taking an early lead. Goratha just past Navali, doing his Vendor afterwards, and RaizQT not too far behind. But I would say DeadandDoom has the strongest early game setup. Personal players now. I guess you could argue Heshla might even have a stronger one. He is on par with D&D at the moment.
I think at this point, this setup is a fair bit stronger than Cleave.
Yeah, we definitely could agree with that one. Goratha doing his Vendor right now. Raiz, I guess he does have the weakest setup, but possibly will scale up to be stronger later on.
We are seeing both DeadandDoom and Heshla doing their trials about the same time here. Do you expect that all players will be doing their trials as they come across them? Or
I think they will, because they'll get a bunch of XP on the way, and there's a lot of mobs at the very end.
Yeah, that's true. Taking advantage of that XP when it's relevant is an upside to doing them early on, rather than coming back and doing them later. The advantage of doing them later would be that you might have Leap Slams so you can get through some of them faster.
Exactly.
Yeah, the movement skill.
Both D&D and Goratha are getting shrines. I started the screen proving to be somewhat lucky so far. Let's see if it continues on. I don't believe Goratha has done his trial yet. He might be opting to do it after he gets his Leap Slam. So yeah, what he decides to do.
It might be the case where if their player just doesn't hit if they don't hit it, they just don't run into it. They'll just come back and do it later. Yeah, not gonna search around for it and waste time.
There's an Orb of Regret, which you can then buy an alchemy for.
It's an Orb of Regret to a Scour to an Alch, or?
I think it's just straight up a Regret to Alch.
Straight up trait. Ah, okay. I don't play enough solo self-found. Gotta hit that solo self-found strats a little bit more.
Yeah, those vendor recipes are very useful when you can't do any trading.
Absolutely. Getting an extra alchemy is very nice. You would think of a Regret as being super useful in a race, but if you can get an Alch out of it, definitely so.
Definitely indeed. Looks like Mr. Dominus, DeadandDoom, is running to a bit of a dead end here. But Heshla will be the first player to enter the Warden's Chamber. Should have a very easy Brutus fight.
DeadandDoom hasn't even found his exit just yet, so I think I see it on the map there, on the mini-map. No, not even. Hitting another dead end.
Ooh. He's not too happy about this one. 11:20 is a bit behind his old pace from the previous race. It might give Goratha a chance to catch up as well.
Later.
Oh, for sure. There we go. Finally finds the exit to the Warden's Chamber. As Heshla enters Bruce's room.
D&D hitting the exit at the exact same time.
Taking a look at Heshla's Brutus fight in the full screen, and it is just getting destroyed.
Yep, face tanking with that large life flask. Easy peasy.
No problemo.
Explosive trap with his +1 fire doing huge amounts of damage. +1 fire and spell damage. Very nice.
It's a green blue helmet. I wonder what he will keep that for. We'll find out in a moment. Looks like Goratha and D&D are about to enter the Brutus room at the exact same time. Let's get them side by side for this one. See who kills it faster.
A mirror match is happening here. We've got the Double Strike versus the Molten Strike. It's
looks like exactly D&D slightly kills it, like half a second faster. Goratha gets a unique longbow though. Interesting.
Oh, Stormcloud.
I mean, Elliot. Oh, straight up vendors it. I really want to see one player, if they get a unique bow, try out some crazy Elliot strats. Level 12 gem. It's not a bad idea. The damage range on that gem is insane.
Yeah, it gets so much damage, and Stormcloud is like the bow for it as well. But
exactly,
it's a big commitment though. That's a big swap. Definitely an unusual strategy. Maybe something players are a bit unwilling to try in the finals.
Yeah, they might not have practiced their Stormcloud Izaro swapping strategies. It is a bit new.
No, that's something that's a little bit difficult to practice for, isn't it?
And plan for.
I'm gonna see very often.
I'll just drop this in erased, no problem.
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna practice this. How much time do you want to dedicate to practicing a strategy that could happen 1 in every 10,000 runs if you're lucky? Never know.
Yep. Looks like Raiz also has a shrine. Will he take it to the Briston? Just finishes just beforehand. His Blight, Essence Strain, Contagion Kill. No Essence Strain yet, sorry.
The Blight actually doing pretty good damage to Brutus there. Did he get his +1 already? I need to check.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, he's got his +1 there with his... it's actually only for his Contagion.
I think we just found a unique item too. Did not see what it was.
Oh, no, I did not see that. Not seeing his inventory when he goes back to town here.
The leather. Straight up vendors it.
No,
it actually keeps it.
Never mind. Yeah, doesn't this have movement speed on it?
Yeah, it does have movement speed and a bit of evasion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
honestly can't even remember the name of that thing. But...
Yeah, I do not remember the name either. I'm sure chat will tell us in a second here.
Yeah, that's the thing. The move speed on a chest is like, well, they have a hidden move speed penalty, so you don't actually gain that much out of them, but still, like, that's a pretty decent chest, though.
Briscrap is the name of the chest. Thank you, chat. 1,000-hour experts. Helpful as usual.
It's one of those uniques you don't look at too often. Let me bring up the stats on that Briscrap. We are looking at 5% move speed, so a net positive of, what, 2% move speed? not a lot. Attack speed, which would have been great if he was playing a duelist. Unfortunately, he's on that shadow, so not going to help too much. A lot of evasion for these levels, though. We're talking top end of like 300 evasion. And heaps of cold res, too. So pretty good.
That's huge.
Not too bad. Yeah,
the evasion is really nice as well.
Deal, especially for Izaro.
A lot of good stats here. Really nice Act 1 chest.
Yeah, he'll probably wear that all the way through.
Definitely, unless he needs some links later on, but I don't believe the players will reach high enough level for links.
Yeah, that's true. I'm very curious if Raiz is just sticking with this chaos damage strategy the whole way.
I think he will. He probably won't see any swaps. He doesn't have the BV available, so most likely doing some ED. A bunch of his viewers are saying he's been practicing a lot of ED, so I think we can expect that. So RaizQT is entering the ship graveyard, whereas Goratha has just entered the Cavern of Wrath. D&D, on the other hand, is halfway, maybe 3/4 of the way through Cavern of Wrath, entering Cavern Anger soon, and Heshla is about to enter Merville's Chamber in just a moment.
Wow, actually, damn, Heshla just rolling on through.
Both players with the shrine right now, D&D and Heshla. Let's go to get a full screen look on Heshla's Merville fight, and it should just be a really fast kill with the trap set up.
Oh yeah, that single target with the +1 explosive trap is just insane.
First phase down in a couple seconds. We're at the 16-16 mark.
He takes like no damage, and he stacks the traps for the second phase, and she's just getting melted, absolutely obliterated. She does like three teleports in a row. Merville is trying to find a way out of this fight, but does not find a way out. He gets rare wands and rare boots as drops from that.
Hopefully get some nice damage and some move speed there, possibly some resist.
No move speed though. Just a lot of stats. We're seeing again kind of like
still kind of a tad slow. He's a lot of thinking here.
Yeah, we're seeing that same thing again. I mean, he did get a lot of gear to look at there, but still, he's kind of, you got to be able to just snap,
go, exactly.
Yeah. Chat getting a little bit stressed out by Heshla's vendoring action.
Could just be taking a deep breath, resetting in town, regaining his composure, and just gonna hold his breath now that he's back in the fight. Pausing again to look at the wand though, going like, can I use this? Like, these are the type of things you want to think about before the race.
He throws a Chromatic on there. fix those colors up a little bit. It's like he swapped out something there. Might have been his frost bomb. Is that a +1 cold for the frost bomb? I have to wait for the gear update.
I believe it
Looks like
was.
It looks like with a +1 lightning.
Oh, you might be correct.
Actually.
+1 lighting. So in the bottom right, though, we have D&D just destroying Mervo right now. If he's already done his vendor, he's gonna have a huge opportunity to catch up here due to Heshla's long window shopping.
Yeah, he's gonna be just not behind barely. Heshla, no extra vendoring in this town run, goes straight through.
Goratha's now starting his Mervo fight. He has the 2-link double strike set up. Doing fairly solid damage, has a large life flask, should be able to tank the damage.
His damage is looking pretty good. Nothing on his actual weapons, but he's got a little bit of extra damage on some of his jewelry there, which is helping him out in this fight here.
So the big plus when you compare Frostbomb and Contagion strategies is Frostbomb can proc Onslaught, whereas Raiz has no method of proccing Onslaught at the moment.
Yeah, it's definitely going to slow you down. It's just like such a speed boost. I mean, it's a bigger deal for those leap slam guys, but even the move speed by itself is just huge as well.
Exactly, movement speed boost being very important on our casters. No one has them just yet. Both of our casters do have rare boots, but did not get lucky with their rolls.
I will definitely hand it to Raiz though. His character is looking the coolest. He's got that hood with the cape and the cool-looking chest with the shoulders.
Very dapper indeed.
Major props to the aesthetics. He thought that one through.
Someone in chat's letting me know.
Completely ignoring the energy shield.
It's very nicely done. Someone in chat's letting me know that Raiz will use Blink Arrow on Weapon Swap plus Charge Dash in Act 2 to move faster. That sounds pretty exciting. I would not have expected that.
Charged Dash?
Yeah.
Can he use Charge Dash? How's he using that if he's got Blink Arrow on a swap and one's in the main hands? I
have no idea, but apparently that is a strat. We will find out.
I'm highly skeptical of the Charge Dash. The Blink Arrow I could see though. On a caster, that seems like it could actually be worth it, especially for Labyrinth.
Indeed.
I think you might be getting debated a little bit by the Charge Dash.
Probably a bit, but we'll find out. Now we have a bit of excitement to see, depending on what's up to come. Raiz doing his vending right now, takes a Mervo at the 1950 mark. Goratha, 20-minute mark, he is in the old field, halfway through, leaping away. D&D and Shimmerson's level 1. Also, Groundsen leaping away, has his boarding axes. Only using Sunder though, so only needs 1. Heshla, already in level 2, pushing ahead, has a very solid lead at the moment. Now we could argue he has the superior single target compared to D&D. BV will prove to be very strong, and along with the explosive trap, both players are opting, or I guess Heshla is opting to do the trawl first, which is the correct thing. Especially if you do not pick up the waypoint, which many players will not, since it can be out of the way. Correct course of action here.
Yeah, that waypoint in the center of the first zone, that's a fair bit of extra running. I think picking up as you go past is the definitely the way to go. Did we see D&D bypass that? He's not there yet.
He's still in level 1, so
the same thing.
Probably the same thing as well. He did get the waypoint though, I believe. In case he wants to skip it, but probably won't.
Yeah, I can see skipping Prisoners not being a big deal, but skipping this one would be a bit of a blow, I think. It takes a fair bit of extra time to come back to.
Exactly. And there it is. Raiz pulling out the Blink Arrow setup. Blink Arrow, Flame Dash. Chaining the cooldowns. Interesting.
Dude, that is awesome. That looks good. That looks really fast.
It does look good. He's looking pretty mobile. I like it. Making up for the lack of Onslaught. Bring out the new strategies.
That takes a lot of coordination to like nail down all the timings on that and keep track of your cooldowns and everything. But that looked really smooth. Dude, I love that.
I want to see if he can actually catch up with other racers now, because he looks extremely mobile. He throws Contagion on the pack, Contagion clears the whole pack, and he's just focused on moving. He's got the Frostbomb mechanics of where you're always moving now. This is extremely exciting.
It synergizes so elegantly with Contagion. You can just throw that down, and you don't need to stand there doing stuff. You can just focus on this this movement skill rotation, which is super cool.
Exactly.
Damn right, it's pulling out some actual secret tech here. I love it.
Heshla is currently fighting his Fidelitis using only his explosive trap and Frostbomb. Did not use a BV to my knowledge. Went down very easy.
I think his +1 explosive is just stronger now than his Blade Vortex is. Blade Vortex will be a bit of a slower burn. That'll come into play later, I think.
I believe you are correct on that one. Goratha pausing to kill a blue pack on the way, wants a bit of XP in his trial. D&D, killing for lives underneath. Very nicely done with Sunder, did not take any damage to my knowledge. Raiz not too far behind, he's in Sins 1, he's extremely mobile now. I want to see if he catches up. I'm really excited to see this.
Oh yeah, I'm going all in on Raiz here. He has to, he has to do this really well to keep up with DeadandDoom's just well-proven strategy of that leap slam Sunder. But this looks good.
It does look good. We went
really
from
good.
Raiz couldn't move to Raiz can move to Raiz is moving so fast.
Moving.
Can't even keep up. Gets a huge Master Shrine. Huge for Contagion. It's insane AoE on it. Yeah, just one Contagion, maybe a second one, and just destroys the whole room.
That's fast. That's
He is
super
XPing.
fast.
Taking a look
His
at our levels
AoE clear
here.
is actually insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. D&D is level 14. Heshla also level 14. Goratha 13 and Raiz 12. So I wouldn't be surprised if Raiz surpasses them in levels later on.
Yeah, he's going to be getting just so much XP. I guess like what it might come down to is that single target though. Like, does Blight or Essence Drain Contagion have the single target he needs?
So I believe Izaro might have
got some
20, 30 Chaos Res and a bit more Elemental Resist. So that might be the downfall of Heshla's Explosive Trap setup. Although he is swapping BV now. Does not have a lot of physical resist, which is where Sunder would do very well.
Yeah, he'll be able to start getting that Onslaught as well from that. Or he might still have that on the Frostbomb. Yeah, he might still have that on the Frostbomb. I liked what I've seen from other players in the past is using that Frostbomb for a fair bit longer for the AoE clear. Only using Blade Vortex for actual single targets. Which we're still seeing him use that Frostbomb quite a bit. So he might be going for that strategy.
Looks like our Watcher is a bit behind. Apparently Raiz is already level 14 and almost 15. He might be surpassing other players very soon. D&D just hitting level 15. He's catching up. Definitely in XP, if not in progression.
Yeah, my Watcher is just dead. I can't even see DeadandDoom's character, so not too sure how he's doing there. But yeah, Raiz is XPing, man. He's XPing hard. I wonder if in an XP-focused race, like if their setup wouldn't be just very good.
That is an interesting idea. And we definitely could consider that to change it up, spice it up for future events. That is something to consider. Could have a first to a certain level.
It was actually pretty good Fertilitis kill for Raiz there.
Yeah,
like,
very nicely done.
Just stacking the Contagion and the Essence Drain was taking him down pretty fast, and he's able to play really safe with it as well. Just keep moving.
Actually, on the other hand, just basically deletes Weaver with his Blade Vortex. Very nicely done. I think DeadandDoom is in the exact same spot. Actually having a very quick vendor there, learning from his old mistakes, using Essence on boots, does not get movement speed. He's not gonna be too happy about that one.
Yeah, no, he's gonna keep trying for those move speed, and the longer it goes without them, like the more painful it feels. You want to get them nice and early to really solidify that advantage.
Raiz
does not even
backwards
need the move speed
for a Whetstone. I see, he really needs one of those Wisdom Scrolls right now. Not that important since he is a caster, but maybe he has a bunch of rares in his inventory, needs to vendor for some alterations. Could be the case, or just needs to buy new flasks. Not running the small life flask challenge again.
Thankfully. I don't know if I can handle that a second time today. Yeah, I think he's trying to get some of those alterations. He's gonna probably need a couple of them.
Like D&D and Heshla are neck and neck right now, with Heshla having the advantage on the non-melee setup. Very cool to see. And just destroys Creighton. I don't know how DeadandDoom's gonna fight that.
I'm just gone.
We have Goratha in the top right too. Also in the Broken Bridge. Doing his best to catch up.
I love that we're seeing some significant advantages of some caster setups over the Sunder action.
Yeah.
Like the higher single target from the Blade Vortex, the higher clear speed from the Contagion Essence Drains and Frost Bombs.
And the high mobility from the melee characters. Yeah, there's definitely pros and cons to each build. It's not just, hey, this is the best and you have to play this. It's like, what do I want to trade? Ooh, Raiz going to reload to a bunch of exploding mobs beside a Master Shrine. Able to pick it up though in the end. Not progressing to Weaver. DeadandDoom going extremely low in this Creighton fight. He's able to take it out in the end.
Those explosive arrows from the ads in there are a little scary. Especially, there's a good chance you just haven't happened to have picked up any fire res at that point.
Exactly. Taking a look at the weapons of our melee players, DeadandDoom has a 1-28 lightning damage Stonehammer, which is not too bad. He'll probably keep that until the Broadaxe, I would imagine. Oh, he just swaps on a Crafted Cleaver with an augmented attack speed. That's huge. His mobility just went up a lot. Taking a look at Goratha, he has a 41 IPT boarding axe, has not auged it yet. Probably going to save his aug, potential aug if he does get any, or a cleaver as well.
Yeah, that's really good for DeadandDoom, getting that leap slam speed.
Fighting up right now. He's taking the lead on Heshla. Heshla is opting to do a Essence, which on like Essence of Contempt, not too helpful as a caster. Going really low before the fight, just to general adds.
He might be just looking for more essences to chuck on some boots. To
yeah, I think he really wants movement speed right now.
Basically.
Resist also being very strong. He's stacking up his Blade Vortex beforehand. Gets up to 7.
Ryze's Weaver going down pretty fast. He throws down the Essence Drain and the Contagion and then throws a Blight on there. Just channels Blight the rest of the way. Actually, pretty good damage.
Yeah, indeed. Very nicely done. Raiz is still not too far behind. He has a chance in this race. And, you know, if players do die, players can die in the Labyrinth. If you die in the Labyrinth, you can't just click Resurrect at checkpoint. You're resurrecting outside of town and you gotta start from the beginning.
Oh yeah, Death and Labyrinth would just be pretty much race ending, unless that's something we see from multiple players. That is not what you want. You want to be ready when you go in there.
Heshla is buying boots again, probably going to throw an essence on them, and does not get move speed again. He's not happy. He's just going to instantly vendor them. Possibly has a currency to buy another pair of boots. Does have another essence in his inventory. Oh no! He forgot the Oak, the wetland waypoint after he killed Oak. Giving DeadandDoom a solid zone lead now.
Brutal. Yeah, that's going to cost him a bit there.
Looks like there's a couple of changes in strategies. Goratha helping Oak, Hellman is letting me know, where D&D and Heshla helped Alira for the extra resists. We'll see what RaizQT does as well.
Interesting. I guess the difference here is no party fight is necessary, nor is Scepter of God or Dominus, so those resists a fair bit less important.
Yeah, Goratha possibly checking up the lab layout, seeing no essences today in the fight. 2-hand Izaro, very easy to dodge, saying, hey man, I want the physical resist, mitigation, and regen in the fight. Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense to me. There's not a lot of elemental damage in Izaro with the setup that's rocking today. Pretty much just those fireballs, and that's pretty easy to mitigate for.
Exactly. It's like D&D was having a bit of trouble in the Wall Ruins. Reaching a couple dead ends here. This might give Goratha a chance to catch up, and Heshla another opportunity to catch up since he did miss the waypoint early on. See who reaches Northern Forest first.
Heshla was in the lead at that point too, wasn't he?
Yep.
When he made that mistake. Ooh,
well, he did go slightly behind DeadandDoom when he opted to kill the Essence beforehand. He's really trying to get those move speed boosts and just hasn't gotten that luck just yet. Players are asking where's D&D. D&D is in the bottom right. For some reason, he's decided his name tag is Dominus for this race, paying respect to Dominus from the last race.
Yep. Dominus has asserted his dominance over DeadandDoom and has now renamed him, essentially.
D&D sitting on half HP, run away from the unique bleeding mob. Leaping ahead, opting not to get the waypoint. He is the first to enter Northern Forest. Goratha and Heshla are both the same spot, fighting for second right now.
And then he just leaping through the air, just spraying blood clouds everywhere. No big deal. Keeps going. Not even worried.
Like D&D is level 17. Has not done the crypt yet. I don't believe any player has done the crypt yet. I imagine our melee players will progress in that direction once they reach level 18. To have the fast attack sleep slam. Possibly after ball.
Yeah, I was wondering about the crypt. It's a bit of a higher level zone, is it not?
I believe so. Might be the same level as Weaver or the Northern Forest area. We'll have to double check later on. Yeah, he's heading there now because he wants a bit of damage on his way for the ball fight. Extra levels on caster is huge.
Yeah, it's a lot of zones full of killing stuff. So doing it a little bit earlier for those levels where the XP range actually makes sense. Yeah.
He has no breakpoints as well. The melee guys at the level 18 breakpoint with faster attacks to make that crypt checkpoint that much faster, whereas the casters, they don't really have that boost speed breakpoint, but they will get a lot of damage from the XP on the way. Heshla going really low though, but gets a clutch level up, hits level 18, and gets a nice shrine. Freezing shrine that will make the rest of his zone a lot safer. Using a lot of Blade Vortex here with occasional Frost Bomb.
Yeah, the clutch levels up today have been pretty on point, haven't they?
Definitely, indeed. I believe every single player so far has done the prison trial right away. I don't think Goratha might not have though. He might be deciding to do it last. And
yeah, I think Goratha was the only one who skipped that from memory. So he's got to go back a little bit for that. Raiz is the only one we see hitting up that cathedral, the old Fell Shrine trial. Bit of a distance to travel, but he's getting a fair bit of extra XP in here. Just dropping those contagions on everything.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see if Heshla opts to go for the crypt as well, just like RaizQT, and get a bit of XP, but higher level gem levels for his wall kill. Heshla just elked or essence another pair of rare boots. He might have got a move speed on them. I'll have to wait for our watcher to update.
Did he get it this time? I see him rocking boots with a lot of life, mana, and resist, but no move speed.
Yeah,
maybe these new ones will be the swap.
Taking a look at gear overall, I don't see anything too crazy on any player. Heshla, 2 rare wands I've mentioned earlier in the race. Melee guys, they do not have rare gloves. D&D with the attack speed cleaver doing work. He's on ball right now. He's starting that at the moment, and supposedly unlucky screen. But I'd say he's had a fair bit of luck so far.
Yeah, it becomes a little tricky to judge progression points here, since players are doing things in slightly different orders. Like we see D&D hitting that vial of itself first, but Raiz has done that large sidetrack already.
Oh, eats a laser though. This is hard as I can do. If he had one more laser while shocked, he might have gone down and incurred a 1 minute penalty. Oh, eats one more laser, can't get hit. Has to be careful here. Totem might finish the fight for him though. And gets it done.
You don't want to be taking a second laser when you're shocked at this point in the game. Definitely not. There he goes. He gets through his dominus, and he is now heading over to Fell Shrine and grab that trial.
Let's give an opportunity for other players to catch up. Goratha, you could argue, is quite a bit behind then compared to DeadandDoom, because D&D will have 3 trials done to Goratha's single Chamber Sins 2 trial. And he still has to do Vol as well. Raiz, however, has done all trials and is on his way to Vol. Might have a chance to pull ahead right now. Actually, no, he's still in the Northern Forest, so he has a bit of work cut out for him.
Yeah, he's a bit behind. So Heshla still has to head over and do his trial as well. So it's looking pretty good for DeadandDoom right now. Goratha hitting his vial second, but as we said, still got those trials to go do.
Now, the order the players do each progression goal in is very interesting and has a big impact on the rest of the race.
Yeah, it adds like a nice extra layer of strategy to these races. Raiz is taking a lot of damage here in the forest.
Still on large life flask. Might want to upgrade to some level 12s. Because of the shrine.
Don't do this to me again, Raiz. I can't handle this flask.
He's stuck in a bunch of mobs and not having trouble moving, but is able to flame dash out and start moving. Makes it up.
There we go. He also gets saved by a level up there. A little bit of extra safety barrier from that heal.
It's like Goratha is fighting Vol in the top right here. Seems to be going down very well. Easy peasy. Has a 3 red setup. Very interesting.
Yeah, just going for all those damage gems. No onslaught in there.
Gets an alchemy orb. Possibly will throw that on a weapon. Get a bit of extra single target there. Heshla is starting his fight as well. Looks like our watcher is updated and he did not get movement speed boost. Just 34 life, 10 cold res, dex, and strength. Along with some evasion. Check out his BV. What type of damage will he be doing? Gets Vol to under half, let's say 30% HP in the first phase. Should insta-kill him in the next one.
Oh yeah, that Blade Vortex damage is pretty spicy. Yeah, that's just gone. That is just gone. But he doesn't have that same move speed tech that Raiz is rocking though. Even if that Blade Vortex and single target is quite a bit better than the old Essence Drain Blight.
Exactly. He does still have a solid lead though in comparison to Raiz. And it might look like Goratha is at the same point as D&D, but D&D is 2 trials ahead, so he is solidly in first place at the moment.
Yeah, that's a big deal. I'm curious when Goratha is planning on going back and doing at least like that Fellshrine side of things. I would have thought he would have hit that after Val maybe, but he just has continued progressing.
He definitely knows that he needs to do the trial, since we did see him do the Chamber of Sins 2 trial. But yeah, possibly might be right before the Izaro fight.
Yeah, he might just do them all in one swoop there. Just grabbing that Chamber of Sins because you don't want to have to go back for that one.
So it'll be interesting in the final fight how many players will be kiting Izaro versus just standing on top of him and straight up fighting him. Taking a look at Raiz, he's running Arctic armor, so he has a bit more mitigation there. Could definitely chill him a bit, and he might have the highest DPS uptime in comparison to the other players.
Raiz is looking particularly amped as well. So Raiz can actually keep his DPS pretty much at full while still being able to maneuver around a bit more if he needs to.
Yeah, Blight had just have that slowing effect, which is very strong.
Oh yeah, that'd be nice. But yeah, like you said, the ability to like face tank those auto attacks is a big one. Every player's going to be avoiding like any slams or any of the abilities for sure. But those auto attacks, if you can face tank those, that is a lot more DPS uptime.
Exactly. Heshla is doing his Cryptile right now after Vol, as expected.
Apparently, Raiz was getting his layout screwed by a master appearing. So he wasn't actually cheering. He was more like raging with a smile, I'd say.
Fortunately, that will be fixed once we have some custom races going at some point, because they cannot actually spawn in actual races.
Very
We'll look forward to
nice.
that in the future.
I'll be interested to see how Raiz's Val DPS is here when he's able to stack things up as optimally as possible. This is that first Essence Drain. A lot of damage from the ads there.
Yeah, has to be a bit careful. He doesn't have a belt equipped yet. You know, the other belt would not be bad. Yeah, Goratha going really low on the top right screen though. Getting hit by some lightning storm calls. That's not storm calls, Storm Herald. It makes it out just fine. Rescues Tolman's bracelet. D&D, a couple seconds out.
The unfortunate thing about Val is I'm pretty sure when Val goes down under the ground, he removes any of those like Blight or Essence Drain stacks or anything like that. So all that ramp up is just wasted. And we did see Val go straight into another ad phase. And again, another ad phase. Ugh, that's rough. We can see Raiz again with a big smile. A big smile.
He's just laughing at what the game's giving him right now. He's like, come on, man.
Yeah, that hurts extra when you're talking about like ramping up Blight stacks.
Man, those ads are just destroying him. And Vol goes down again. He's shaking his head. He's like, come on, dude. Just die already.
Come on, man. Come on.
Dodge the slam. It'd be interesting to see if he decided to tank that. Gets it down. Pretty place the portal. Zoning out now.
Yeah,
Goratha slightly ahead of
to,
D&D.
Test Val. Essentially.
Yep. Goratha slightly ahead of D&D in terms of progression, but not in trials. We'll see if he can speed on ahead.
Yeah, if we're talking a regular race here, Goratha would be looking pretty good against D&D right now. But not quite. He's got a bit of extra stuff to go and do.
Exactly. See if D&D opts to do the bust here. He did find the second bust. He might actually pick it up at this point. Looks like he is picking it up.
Yeah, he's got it.
Goratha already has picked up all the busts as well. Might allow him to hit a specific notable on the passage tree. Players are level 20, I think D&D just at 21, Goratha 20 and 60%, RaizQT 19, almost 20, and Heshla 20, 10% away from 21. Heshla in the XP lead at the moment.
Very nice. Interesting stuff. That Frostbomb doing work earlier. I would have thought Raiz's XP would have been a little bit higher, but I think Heshla's just gotten a little bit more done here.
Yeah, the Frostbomb proving to be very effective. I'll say I'm a bit surprised though. I thought Heshla would be a bit closer in comparison to our melee players here, but the melee guys have a solid first and second place at the moment.
Very cool to see such a good variety in strategies here. Obviously, we do have two Sunder Boys, but
that is true.
Loving seeing the shadows and even the shadows being quite different as well.
Yeah, dirty Sunder Boys.
Dirty Sunder Boys. I am falling in love with Raiz's setup here. Like maybe the Blight Contagion Essence Strain is kind of just good enough, but nothing amazing. But that movement speed tech is just gorgeous.
Definitely is. Taking a look at each player's resist. No one has any fire resist yet, unless they've helped Lyra. Goratha does have 23. So having fire res in the Izaro fight is very important, since the barrage is fire damage.
Yeah, I think those fireballs, that fireball barrage can actually hit pretty hard if you haven't got any of that. A lot of the time it's just the thing that combines with something else to kill you, but it could outright kill the players here by itself.
Blackleaf, man, Heshla just insta-killed Piety. His BV is looking very strong, so even if he's not the first to enter Izaro, he definitely has very good odds here.
Yeah, he might be the first to finish it.
For sure. This could be exciting. D&D eating a bunch of traps on the way in the Catacombs trial, but is able to survive. Sword goes mid low out of pots.
Oh,
Has done
through though.
Done almost all the trials now. I did not see if he completed the Catacombs trial, the Crematorium trial, sorry. I believe he has. Oh, he's out of wisdoms. Decides to vendor alterations to buy wisdoms to buy a ruby ring for the Izaro fight.
Oh yeah. It's getting that. Gets a little bit of extra life and cold resistance on there. Not too bad.
Just letting me know, D&D did do the Crema trial, so he just needs one more trial left in the Hedge Maze, and he will be good to go to proceed to the Labyrinth.
DeadandDoom so close to getting in there then. That's super impressive.
I don't believe we saw Goratha do any trials other than Sins 2, correct?
Yeah, so he's got a lot to go back and do
So
now.
he looks really far ahead, but he's not actually that far ahead at the moment.
No, not at all. In terms of progression, the players only have to get through the sewers, so Heshla's heading through his sewers now, and Raiz is going to go do his sewers just as soon as he completes Piety, so he's got a little bit of extra catching up to do.
That is confirming that Goratha did Crema and Catacomb, so he's not too far behind. So he's got his Crypt and Prisoners done at some point to catch up to D&D.
Yeah, the prison's not going to take him too long, but that Crypt is going to take a bit of extra time. That's like a minute or two there at least. Even with the decent leap slamming attack speed.
Definitely. Ashtad's about to enter or find the marketplace waypoint. We'll see if he enters the Catacombs right away. And just decide to do so.
There's a lot to keep track of with these players kind of doing things.
Yeah, I'm trying to like keep an eye on every screen at the same time. We still can't blink. Should probably have a nice Excel sheet in front of me next time. Just check mark everyone's trial completions next time. Future races. Oh, Raiz going below to the fire degen in his Crema trial. Speaking of later, no, don't die! Oh, makes it out just in time.
It's a little bit too close.
Cutting it very close. Goratha's almost at the end. Goratha's almost at the end of Solaris level 2, where DeadandDoom just entered. He's doing his best to catch up though, and he is leaping fast. Does it look like D&D's leaping faster than Goratha? I think he is. Attack speed weapon proving very beneficial.
Yeah, and I think that's the only difference there. Like I said, like Goratha's got a boarding axe with 41 IPD, but no suffix. So, I mean, if at some point he doesn't see any augments in his inventory, so I guess he hasn't had an opportunity to try and get that extra attack speed.
Definitely wants to craft for Izaro. You do not want to be using a boarding axe in the fight. That could be a bit rough.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be hoping to get a better weapon there. I can't see DeadandDoom's gear. How's he looking for just going like straight in there? Is he going to need to do any crafting?
He has 26 fire res plus Lyra, 41. Might want to get a second ruby ring, but other than that, he is looking pretty solid gear-wise. Possibly some extra rare gear, but he's looking good.
Cleaver, that extra axe in his inventory too.
Ooh, yeah, he might be crafting a broad axe later on, which you would expect. He's level 22 right now, so might probably see a 22, 24 kills from all our players. All of our players seem to be level 21. Raiz being the lowest level 20, and it looks like 75% at the moment. Goratha zooming at the moment. He's at the hedge maze. One trial to go.
Yeah, after he gets this, we should see him just ducking straight into go do that Fill Shrine trial.
Yeah, that's true. My mistake. He has to do his other trials.
Yeah, gets through all of the darts without taking a single dart. Very nicely done.
And crafts a rare rustic sash. So he's gonna be ready now for the final fight.
Instant swap to the broad axe, very nice. If he's lucky, he'll pick up an augment somewhere along the line. Throw a suffix on that.
Nice, finally reaches level 21, catching him in levels to the other players. Heshla is in docks right now. He's pushing ahead for his first item to allow him to progress to the hedge maze. I don't believe he's gone to stars just yet.
Yeah, Raz is going to have to use that move skill strategy to the best of his capability here. He's got a little bit of ground to cover.
Looks like this is going to be a pretty close race between Goratha and D&D, because D&D's gone his last trial. Goratha has 2 trials to go, but the prison trial is extremely short, and I wouldn't say it takes more than 20 seconds. We're just going to see who has the bigger single target here. Goratha with the 61 IPD broad axe, D&D with a 40 IPD 9 attack speed cleaver. And like you said, he does have a weapon in his inventory. Not sure if he's crafted just yet. D&D reaching a dead end though. DeadandDoom happens again.
Once again. Goratha's got a lot of extra damage on his jewelry as well. Every single piece of jewelry has some damage on it of some description. So it could make the difference in terms of their boss killing.
That is true. Only 30 pyros though. So we'll see if he can actually face tank the boss. He has 569 HP. D&D has 457. That is quite a big difference.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a little scary.
Heshla, 534.
That is a large difference in HP there. Goratha getting like a 48 max life chest armor. And he's got a coral ring with some extra life. Bit of life on multiple pieces of his jewelry. 30 life on his amulet. He's just got heaps of life on all of his gear. Life on his boots. The only thing that isn't crafted is his gloves. So he's just, yeah, all those life rolls making a huge difference there. And that'll make a big difference in the fight. It might be the difference between what we're talking about, whether he can tank the auto attacks or not.
Indeed. These life rolls being a big difference. D&D taking quite a while to do his vendoring at the moment. Finally gets it done. It was a 50 IPD, looks like 13 strength roll on his broad axe.
No attack speed, sadly.
Typing something in chat says kill me. We're not going to do that, Mr. D&D. But
but Izaro may.
Izaro may. He is the first player to enter the labyrinth at the 49-45 minute mark.
First labyrinth. Enter for DeadandDoom. But will he be the first one to make it out? That is the question here in the grand finale.
Oh no. Goratha is on his last trial right now before he decides to cash up to D&D. Picking up the trinket beforehand to make his fight a bit easier. What does that trinket do? Q of absorption in a conduit fight.
Yeah, that's insta. What's that do? I think it gives you an extra use of the conduits.
Possibly. I'm not too sure, but I'm sure we'll find out in a moment. He has just entered the first aspirant's trial.
Here we go. First one. Kills the conduit.
Switch to a full screen of DeadandDoom.
Oh yeah, I want to see this. Oh yeah, I think it like perma kills the conduit. Must do.
I believe you are correct. He's already down to 1 life pot. Has no mana right now. His other mana pot, so he'll back up.
Oh man. His damage is looking pretty good against Izaro, but this is a tough phase because you need to not only get Izaro down, but also balance it so that he doesn't have any buffs active when he goes down.
Exactly.
Anyone who's done lab can know that. It can be a little bit painful.
466 HP right now. Really lucky there's no dual swords today, or he could get eat a big wind slash and go out very easily.
It's the conduit of flames, the storms. You can see he's pretty much just juggling between, trying to do whatever damage he can in between the juggles. Goratha also starting his aspirant's trial too. DeadandDoom does make it through, and I don't think there was any buffs active when he killed him as well, so I think he did pretty well on that one.
Nicely done by DeadandDoom.
Goratha's doing his now as well.
Looks like Goratha did not get stunned a bit by the barrage. Slower fire resist than D&D. Did not pick up the conduit, the trinket, sorry.
Did not find the trinket, no. He's going to have a little bit of a tougher time juggling 3 instead of the 2. Oh yeah, those fireballs. That extra HP serving him well, for sure.
He's almost on the first phase. Oh, but it goes down with...
Oh yeah, no,
but at least 1 conduit.
Buff? I think that was the cold buff too, which is very scary. there was two chat saying two buffs. He might
Two buffs. Oh no.
Oh no, that's gonna cost him. He's gonna need every bit of extra HP that he has at this point. But the really scary thing is there that's potentially a shock and a freeze happening
At the exact same time, then you'll have the legendary I couldn't move, man, resulting interrupt.
Oh yeah, no, that's gonna be super scary.
So it looks like D&D is opting to kill the portals here, saying, hey man, I do not have the DPS to kill the extra ads.
Yeah, it seems like a wise choice. I mean, Sunder does pretty well with ads, but there's a lot of extra incoming damage there from all of those spellcasters. And just a lot of spooky skeletons.
Takes all the portals. Goratha starting the second fight. Just needs to send Izaro down to the next phase.
We won't be seeing any face tanking happening for Goratha now with the double buffs happening.
For sure, he's going to be leaping away. Doing a bit of face tanking, but still playing, I'd say overall pretty safe. Leaping away from almost every attack. By the goddess, what ambition. Takes it down. He's not be progressing to the last
By the
fight.
goddess, what ambition. Gets it done. Oh man, I'm feeling pretty nervous for Goratha here with those double buffs. It's very scary. It looks like one's actually a fire buff, so maybe not as bad as it could have been.
Definitely. Petter's asking for a quick update on RaizQT and Heshla. Rise looks like he's on his last trial. We're progressing to Izaro soon enough. With Heshla, I'm not too sure where he's at in progression right now. Doing a bit of window shopping. Seems to be a very common theme at the moment. Loves to shop.
Looks like Heshla is going to back to Act 2. He must be, yeah, doing a little bit more shopping, trying to get himself fully prepared.
Goratha playing extremely safe in this fight. Still has a couple portals to go. One portal left. Gets it down. This one's at 1 HP, and he gets it. Nicely done. Heshla enters the lab right now at the 54:25 minute mark.
Oh man, even those fireballs looking super scary for Goratha. He took about half the barrage and went down to like 150 HP.
Heshla misclicking a bit when entering the labyrinth, sorry. King Rise a couple seconds to catch up. Rise about to enter the labyrinth as well. Let's see, he's missed any trials. Well, looks like he skipped Marketplace, so he has one more trial to go.
Oh yeah, no, he's got to go do that. Damn. It's going to see him enter a little bit later than Heshla then. Heshla might be on his first phase by the time Rise is able to get in there. Yeah, D&D, now that he's gotten through the first two phases and did the first phase without any errors, he's got a pretty safe shot at getting through this final phase. The final phase is, in normal Labyrinth, actually the easiest, as long as you don't screw up the first two.
Definitely.
Which he didn't do. He got everything done expertly, killing all the portals and not having any buffs on his arrow. Doing some last second gear swaps there.
I think we'll probably keep on the 4-player review right now, since every single one of our players is in the labyrinth. Sorry.
Oh yeah, it's all happening.
DeadandDoom is in the bottom right. He's on the final fight and has a chance to claim it once he ascends.
Oh, DeadandDoom going very low there. Of course, any death here is just like race over at this point for the guys, with them all being in here.
Potentially. Dodges the slam. Gets hit by some barrage, but does not do too much damage. Is able to leap away. His resist proving very useful.
Yeah, his flask's nicely upgraded too, so one flask is filling him back up from taking one of those barrages, which is good because he only has one left at this point, though there are a few ads being spawned. Yeah, that's going to give him enough flask.
Going really low. D&D going somewhat low as well.
All the players getting pretty lucky that this is not swords this time, because it's a lot harder to avoid than
I feel if it was swords, we could have seen a lot of rips today, especially Goratha with the double buff.
Double buff sword slash is a guaranteed kill. 1-hit KO for sure. DeadandDoom looks like he's about to secure the kill, and he does. Only one treasure key though. Bump out. Grats.
I did it. Woo.
Woo. Woo, lads. That is a win for DeadandDoom. Very handily done. We saw him weapon swapping between the heavy cleaver there. He's thanking his heavy cleaver because he had that attack speed on it for his leap slamming through the labyrinth itself.
Has a deathless run. Nicely done.
Very nice.
Done for Mr. Dominus.
Mr. Dominus securing first place. After killing DeadandDoom in the second round, he took over his computer and went on to kill Izaro. Dominus is now the new emperor of the labyrinth.
Nice. RaizQT is on the first fight, fighting the conduit phase. Izaro. Goratha is on the, looks like the final fight. Trying to fight for second place at the moment. There still are prizes to be won. And Heshla is doing the best he can. I believe he's also on the second phase.
My eyes are flicking back and forth. I'm keeping an eye on Raiz trying to manage these conduits. I also want to see how this chaos damage strategy is going for him, but oof. It's been rough for all the players, so it's hard to tell.
I'm trying to keep an eye out if anyone reaches any close calls at the moment. Just like you said, flicking a bit back between all three racers right now.
Yeah. Need to see all of this. Goratha is almost done. There's just a little bit left. He's just circling around Izaro. He's playing it pretty safe here. Constantly moving, not risking any more than like 1 or 2 sunders before moving on.
I've asked DeadandDoom a message if he's ascended, since that is in the rules right now before the race, that you do need to ascend to finish. Yes. And
he's not done yet.
He has done it in the background, which we did not see.
He has done it. Okay, good.
Hope the other players did read the rule book right now.
Imagine that on a technicality. Goratha gets the kill, goes straight for the ascendancy. He knows the rules, and he's picking his ascendancy. I guess that counts.
That counts. He clicked the thing. He clicked the altar.
As long as he touched the altar, I think that's fine. Heshla beating Raiz through his phase. The Blade Vortex proving to be very high for single target. It's not too bad as well with like.
Oh, Raiz is so low. Oh, no. 125 HP, no pots. Finishes the first phase though.
Look at him. He's banging his head. 52 HP. He gets it. He gets it.
79 HP right now. Oh man, heal up, Raiz, please.
Oh my god.
There still is a fight here for third place, and there are mystery boxes to be won.
And I really want to see Raiz finish off with this strategy because it was super juicy. I really liked it. Didn't get him the win in the end, but I still think very cool set of skill technology here. I just need a moment to catch my breath. Raiz types in chat, sending himself a message in the local chat. Just letting himself know that it is okay. Just take a breath, buddy. You'll be all right.
Maybe Raiz should select Painted Tube and go with low life acid drain, getting a bit more damage.
Picked up that Painted Tube. It would have helped in that last phase right there.
So interesting thing to notice here is Heshla has the Orb of Storms blind set up, something that Raiz could have done as well. Allows him to have a bit more DPS uptime and not have to kite as much.
Oh yeah, if you get that blind on Izaro, that makes a big difference for sure. Raiz has his nice evasion chest as well, so might be seeing some extra evading from him. I'd like to see him trying to take advantage of that. And he's actually got like, has he got the most HP out of any player?
650 life? 648, and Heshla was 641. 7 more life than Heshla. Take a look at resist. Raiz.
That's more than Goratha, who had more than DeadandDoom.
Yeah. 200 more life than D&D.
So, I mean, with that evasion chest, I feel like he's got enough to really just stand there on some auto attacks.
Yeah, Heshla and Raiz have roughly the same res, roughly the same HP. Heshla's on the final fight, just face taking it, straight up BVing away, and takes third place. Oh, nicely done. Rushes to Ascend right now. He's rushing ahead. It's a nice quick
that's definitely an Izaro killer right there. Nicely done, Heshla, securing third place handily. That Blade Vortex action. Look at our final, so our second phase here for Raiz. It looks like Izaro actually has the fire buff. So he didn't get through that first phase without
makes it out of the slam. Almost ate that one there. I believe he could tank it, but you don't want to test it at this point.
You're going to see Raiz just getting ignited this whole fight as well, which is going to put a lot of pressure on his floss. It's going to make things very tricky for him. And yeah, no, there won't be any tanking like I was hoping.
He's trying to kill all the portals right now. It's one portal down. There are so many ads everywhere.
He's going to need to take advantage of that Contagion Essence train action for sure on those ads. Get that stuff start spreading around. Maybe they spread it to Izaro. You eventually get there, possibly.
Eventually get it down. Definitely has the AoE coverage, but this will be very difficult. This portal is very low. It's almost down. Get a bit of blight on it. No, opts to just keep on moving. Barely dodges the slam. Just walked out of that one.
Oh man, that's a little hectic. This is why
he's ignited, just like you said. 3 seconds of night. He's running around.
That's constant ignites. Any hit's going to ignite him from Izaro, pretty much. Oh man, the crossfire from the ads.
Gets ignited, chilled, and shocked. Zaro says, you cannot stem this tide. Zaro says, don't worry, I got this. I believe he's killed 2 portals. Not sure if he's killed the one on the far right. He's going to want to double check that if he hasn't already. Looks like he has gotten it. He just needs to kill Zaro now.
Oh man. A little bit nerve-wracking here.
Definitely is a bit nerve-wracking. He would like to finish the race.
We all want to see Raiz finish this race, although a rip is super juicy, but I want to see Raiz take this all the way through to the end. Been an epic run.
I believe every player was deathless in today's finale.
Yeah, no deaths. No deaths. So far.
So far.
I was getting caught on that slowing ground skill from Izaro. Izaro often following that up with the fireball barrage. A little bit scary.
Definitely a bit scary indeed. And I believe... Has he gotten it? He's gotten it. Phase 2 done.
There we go. He's got a little bit more of a run, and then the final phase, which should be a fair bit easier than that portal phase. He did get rid of all the portals, so he's just going to be facing Izaro just by himself this time around.
Should have a bit more DPS uptime, so they won't have a bunch of ads just knocking on him. Nice blink arrow there too. Not even barely get touched by the degen. He's out of pots though. Just get some fast charges back. Has to be careful here.
Keep moving, buddy. Gonna hit that time crank. He's got to get through here quickly. Hit that other time crank. Does not forget to get the timed crank. I don't know if this is actually a gauntlet he needs to do, but it looks like it might be one that's necessary for progression.
We'll find in a second if there's a gate on the left side here. He's waiting a bit. Because there was a gate, so yeah, he did need to complete that.
Yeah, good thing he didn't miss that other time crank and otherwise would have been forced to go backwards. I want to see more of that blink arrowing. You could have blinked through there, Raiz. What's going on, man? Show me that blink arrow attack. I love it.
I think that's my favorite part of the finale today. The blink arrow flame dash attack was awesome to see.
Oh, when the moment he put that on and started using that and just like swapping between the two elegantly, I was like, oh, that's so good. Looks so good.
Looks like no player has used Culling Strike in this race. I don't believe Raiz has in his inventory either. It's definitely something that someone could pull out. It is an Act 2 quest reward.
Yeah, not a bad little grab. Makes a bit of a difference for that final kill there. He does have a lot of HP, cuts down a fair bit. But yeah, like looking at those last phases there, Raiz's chaos damage setup, he has everything that you would think you would need for this, the +1 chaoses, and he's gotten, a good amount of XP, but it looks like he can't compete in terms of the single target against Izaro.
Yeah, and you kind of argue that shows the power of Onslaught. Every single other player had Onslaught, so they just got to the checkpoints just that much faster.
Yeah, that's certainly true. And like, I love Raiz's strategy, just not having that Onslaught certainly helps. I wonder if he mightn't use a strategy like this with the movement skills, but coupling in some of the stronger skills like Blade Vortex, for example. Although it's a bit different. I guess the mechanics don't work quite as well with the weapon swapping. Depending on where you have those links, I guess.
Definitely. So playing a bit of kiting in this last fight. Is that his Arctic armor? Flame dashing? That was pretty close.
Oh yeah, I love that. He's trying to get every last millisecond of blight channeling out onto Izaro there. So here's the thing, like a lot of his single target comes down to getting a decent channel and blight on top of that essence rank contagion, but he's forced to move a lot against Izaro. He certainly wasn't in that last phase. This one's going a bit faster, but it's still, it's nothing compared to like Blade Vortex, for example. Even the ads are building up here. Just not taking them down quite fast enough.
I wonder how this fight would have gone if he had a blue-red link for a Wither Totem setup. Would have cost an additional 2 transmutes. She could probably find in time for the Izaro fight. Or any future bosses.
There's a lot of skills to set up, isn't it?
Definitely is. You have your Contagion, you have your Blight, Essence Drain, you get your Flame Dash. Maybe you could argue, oh, chat's telling me no, Shadow does not get Spell Thumb, so he cannot get that setup going, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
But he could have used Heshla's Orb of Storm's Mind setup for a bit more DPS uptime instead. Having a similar effect to the Wither Totem, increasing his damage output.
I mean, at this point, his link pressure is going to be pretty high. Getting enough sockets for the skills he's using alone must have been a challenge, let alone working in something else in there. Like even another 2 link is going to be tricky. Looks like Izaro is about to drop. He's getting him real close. One last good blight channel. We'll see it through.
Oh,
Still got that life loss.
he has to be careful. So the sliver of HP.
He was baiting the last slam there. He's really going for it. Giving Izaro another opportunity to go for kill, but he gets the treasure key. And the kill.
Gets it done.
That's a side note.
Congratulations, Mr. RaizQT. We'll see him ascending in just a moment here.
And there he goes. Congrats to Raiz, getting the ascension. He does pick Trickster, of course. Naturally, he's going to turn this into a character from here on out. He's going to make a Blight, Essence Drain, Contagion, Blink Arrow, Flame Dash build.
Put his hands up in there to say, what can you do? But he did pretty well, though. I think we're all very proud of him in this race.
Very unusual strategy. Super awesome to see. Loved the Blink Arrowing action. Very tricky. Deserving of the Trickster ascendancy.
Indeed. Let's see if we can get an interview with some of our racers right now. Let's see. How about DeadandDoom? As he is the champion of today's event. Let's hop on over to the interview room.
I will join you over there in a moment. Feel free to get started. I'll be there.
Just waiting for ZD to join me in the interview room as he makes it over here. Looks like D&D is already ready. I'll wait for my good friend Ziggy D before we begin. Wow, very nicely done by DeadandDoom, Heshla, Goratha, and Raiz completing the race. It's like Ziggy's having some trouble finding the interview room, so I will start out the interview with DeadandDoom. DeadandDoom, first of all, congratulations on taking first place, winning the grand prize. You have won a tortoise pet, a rabbit pet, a brilliant crown, chaos orb helmet, and 5 mystery boxes. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
How excited are you for the MTX prizes?
I don't really care about the prizes that much. I'm just happy to do more races, you know.
So you're more about the passion, more about the glory, you know? You just want to be the best. I see. So what was the Dominus name there?
Yeah, in the Dominus race, Dominus completely outplayed me, so I didn't think I deserved my name on my stream. Dominus deserved it.
Ah, okay. Not even like a Dominus in Doom or Dead End Dominus?
Nah.
Nah, okay. How about the famous question that everyone wants? How about your RNG in this race? How would you rate it?
Nothing special. I'm just very happy I got the attack speed augment on my cleaver. That's about the only good thing I got, I think. I don't even think I got many shrines this race, dude. I don't know what happened.
Nothing special, he says. I believe the acceleration shrines were in the semi-finals, correct?
Yeah, I didn't get any this time. I'm pretty happy how I played on the Izaro fight. Like, it's a pretty scary fight. I didn't have a lot of life because my gear is pretty bad.
Yeah, your life was pretty low. You had the lowest life total at 460. Goratha had around 560, but with Heshla and Raiz at 650. But you did have the highest fire resist, which is arguably the most important thing in that fight.
Yeah, for sure. That's why I made sure to have 2 ruby rings.
Looks like Ziggy has found us in the interview room. Ziggy, do you have any questions for our champion, DeadandDoom here?
Well, I missed the earlier parts, but congrats, DeadandDoom. That was super awesome, man. Very nicely done as Izaro kill. That was probably pretty challenging. And I loved your double accelerations in the second round. So dirty.
It was pretty insane. I'd just like to point out that my Act 2 on my Sunder run was actually slower than my Act 2 with Ground Slam in the Dominus race.
Interesting. So, do you think it's fair to say that Sunder is not hands down the best no matter what?
Well, there's still a lot like layout RNG and stuff with it.
True.
I'm sure Sunder is better on average, but yeah, Ground Slam can beat Sunder in Act 2 if you get lucky.
Interesting. Has anyone told you about RaizQT's Flame Dash and Blink Arrow strategy yet?
Did you like bow swap to Blink Arrow?
Yes, on his Essence Drain build. You think that's an optimal strategy, or have you tested it all?
You might as well, I think. It's not like you have anything else to do on the caster if you're out of Flame Dash, I guess.
Yeah, that's it.
Fair enough. I'm out of questions, Ziggy. If you have any more, feel free to ask.
That's good, man. Just congratulations today. Congratulations, not even the congratulations, the full one. Nice runs today, man. Very handily done.
Thank you.
Thank you, D&D. Go ahead and enjoy your prizes and your victory. Thanks again. Looks like we'll be trying to get Heshla, Goratha, or Raiz into the interview room to hear their thoughts on the race. Yeah, I'd say... Would you say this is expected, Ziggy? The outcome?
What's that?
D&D in the first, Goratha second, Heshla third, Raiz fourth place.
Yeah, roughly. Yeah, I think especially because Rise did kind of back himself into a corner with using, all of what he wanted to use in the earlier rounds to get through into the third and final round. So, I think that's the way it's often going to work out when players that are feeling a little bit less confident use their best setups in the earlier rounds. It just puts a lot of extra pressure on them and kind of helps ensure that they, find the positions that they're likely to find in the final rounds.
For sure, it looks like Goratha is ready along amongst our other racers. Let's get Goratha in here. Goratha, can you hear us?
Oh, hey, what's up?
Hey, congratulations on your second place finish. What are your first thoughts on the race?
Well, I came into this race, I practiced a bunch of Dominus, but I didn't really practice any Izaro runs. I was kind of like, when do I do the trials? I was like kind of winging it a bit. I thought I played really well, though. I thought it was good.
Dude, it looked super smooth. We did see you kind of go back for that, some of those trials much later than the other players. A lot of the players kind of did that stuff earlier on, maybe taking advantage of the XP. Were you kind of trying to think about when you would go back in terms of XP versus when you're going to have faster movement skills and stuff like that?
My thoughts on that, like, if I found the prison one first, or the first way I went, I would have done it. But since I found the exit right away, I decided not to do it until later.
Yep.
For Crypt, I was just waiting for faster attacks pretty much, just sleep there faster. I didn't think I needed the XP.
Yeah, fair enough. We definitely saw like the casters do that a bit earlier than the attack players waiting for that faster attack, so that makes a lot of sense. How'd you feel going up against Izaro? I noticed you in the second phase got the double buff, I think it was. Sorry, in the first phase, got the double buff. It's pretty sketchy.
Mistakes are made.
That's a really tough phase to manage mechanically, but you did pretty well considering all that extra damage you had in the later rounds. A bit nerve-wracking, I imagine.
Yeah, I practiced with like a really bad weapon, so I didn't actually expect. Like I did one Izaro, and I tried to see what he was doing, and when I practiced it, I had a really bad weapon, so I didn't really expect to phase him that fast, and I kind of screwed myself a bit because I definitely had to play way safer in the second and third phase.
Well, it's arguably a good way to practice it with a worse weapon, so that when it comes to the actual race, you have a better weapon, you get through it faster. But I guess in that case,
that was the idea, but it kind of backfired.
Yeah, backfired a little bit. Ouch.
So I
also had the Haku and Upper Prison again trolled me. That happened in the first race too.
Yeah, we saw a few master trolls.
Somewhere too.
I want to ask you, Goratha, would you change your skill selection on the path to the finals, or were you pretty happy with Trapper, BV in the first round, Bolt and Strike Frostbase in the second round, and the Sunder Cleave in the last round?
Honestly, I may have actually done Blade Vortex for the second round if I knew how hard Dominus was going to be. Because I had pretty good gear, and he was still like really hard to kill with Molten Strike.
That's really interesting. Like, we've been seeing Blade Vortex just being super strong single target skill, but I guess what it often comes down to seemingly is that leap slam speed
yeah,
is winning out. Do you think that'd be enough reason to swap to Blade Vortex for that single target over the leap slam speed getting through Act 3?
It'd probably be close. I think the leap slam still probably wins, but I think you need good gear. Sunder definitely wins on that because you can play safe and you're melee at the same time. But like, I think if you're ground slam, frostblade and stuff, you're gonna struggle on Dominus.
Oh yeah, tough fight in that case for sure.
Every time I went into melee, like the fire strike guy, when I was practicing, he would just one shot me. This is really hard to do as Molten Strike.
Yeah, we saw a lot of issues with the fireball guy. He's pretty scary.
Yeah, we wanted you to just like run in, just like face tank him with your Molten Strike, just like get the fight over really quickly, but then he was doing so much damage you had to like hit him with your Frostblades, and Frostblades is not the best single target skill.
Well, he's shotgun, so if you go in melee range, it's one strike.
Hey, shotgun got removed from the game. It's AoE overlap now.
So unfair. Great runs today, man. Congratulations on taking second there. Very nicely done.
Thanks. I'm pretty happy with the the results, I guess.
Looking to next weekend, do you think you have a chance at claiming first place, depending on the rule set?
Depends on the race layout, yeah. I feel like I might struggle in Act 4 if there's Act 4 races, but we'll see. I still need to just practice. I'm still rusty on these later acts and stuff.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. Thank you again for joining us, Goratha, and congratulations again.
Thanks.
man.
It was fun.
All right, looks like we will be getting another interview with Heshla, our third place finisher. Heshla, how's it going?
Hey guys.
Hey, congratulations on the third place finish. Very nice run.
2-1.
Do you have any opening thoughts for us on your run? You know, RNG, weapons, anything. First thing that comes to your mind.
I was like really unlucky with my boots. I feel like I tried so hard to get more speed. I don't know how many years.
It was 4 or 5, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we watched that and we're like, he's going for that move speed. He kept getting it. He kept missing it. Felt brutal.
But I also think I played pretty good. Like I'm pretty satisfied with that. I haven't played Shadow that much, so I didn't feel too comfortable playing it. But it was pretty fun, and I just played it kind of safe. Like I kind of knew, like I wouldn't beat the Thunder guys unless they died in that pretty much.
Were you kind of always thinking that going like a Blade Vortex Shadow in the final round would be the way to go, or was that just kind of like that was the thing that was left to make the best of the situation? Because we watched you like obliterate Izaro compared to everyone else.
Like I think it's good, but it's like you have to get all the trials. You get so far behind compared to the Leap Slam guys. Like they do the trials so much faster.
Yeah, and it seems super reliant on move speed or
Yeah, I
potentially.
think
getting a second
Thunder is
quick
like the best, but this might be like the second best option if you don't if you can play Thunder. I think like close to it at least.
Yeah, you were doing very well. Oftentimes you were like well ahead of DeadandDoom, especially in Act 1 and partly in Act 2, but D&D was able to surpass you, and it's something we noticed in the semifinals as well. Your time shopping is quite long sometimes. You're like hovering over between items, like wondering what to do and stuff.
It's because I haven't played enough Shadow yet. Like it's
okay.
to me.
Yeah, it's true. Knowing what you need to look for, just like the back of your hand, is a bit easier if you've played that class a lot. Understandable.
Looking forward to future events, do you think you have a shot of taking the first place prize, dethroning DeadandDoom?
I mean, you need some shorter races with more RNG then. Loot.
Do you think players need RNG to beat DeadandDoom because he's just too consistent in the longer races?
I mean, if it's Sleep Slam Thunder, I don't think anybody can beat him in the long races. Like, if you have like Act 5 Kitava or something, I don't think anybody can beat him in Thunder. Like, maybe Fightgar has a chance, and Ventura is also really good at that. So if they get really good RNG, maybe they can win. But yeah, most of the time D&D should win.
Hey man, I think you need to give yourself some more credit. We saw you taking second in that first round, beating out DeadandDoom. It was in fourth, and I think we could see it. Keep going for it, man.
Yeah,
keep
and
going
you
for
beat
it.
DeadandDoom in the semis as well, so you definitely were a favorite going into the finals.
Hell yeah,
I
man.
mean, I played Thunder, he played Molten Strike. So, yeah.
True. We'll see if this changes at all in next weekend, assuming you are available for that, and so is he. Thank you again for joining us, Heshla. Congratulations again on your third place finish.
Thanks for having these races. It's really fun.
No
Cheers,
problem.
mate. Congratulations.
Looks like we'll have a final contestant, RaizQT, joining us in a moment when he is ready.
Hello?
Hello, RaizQT.
Hello.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, nothing
Hey,
much, just watching some races, How about yourself?
My strategy I think needs a little bit more polish. Maybe maybe a run or two.
We were not expecting the ED strat and the Blink Arrow Flame Dash strat. When you saw that, we got so excited. We were hoping you just fly ahead, but didn't seem to pan out. It was...
See, that was my expectations too. I kind of tried it out on like half a practice run because I just wasn't sure what exactly I should go for. Like I didn't practice BV, and Thunder was down the drain anyway because I wasn't that great with the other skills. So I don't know. The Dominus race ended up being pretty good. This one I was like, let's see. I tried like a level 20 Izaro kill, and he was taking damage, so I was like, good enough. So Yeah, we did like half a practice run. I think if I were to do 2 more, maybe I could cut down the time by a minute or so. Maybe.
Do you think the grand final should be on a different day than the semifinals to give racers a chance to, finalize their strats? What's the current setup plan?
I would be a huge fan of like stretching it out in general, but also having a losers bracket, just because we don't have fixed seed and all this sort of stuff, and you see people like Ventura getting kicked out first round, like that really is nasty.
And still give them a chance to make the finals. Yeah, that is true. It's something we can consider for future weekends. Speaking of that, so you have a losers bracket idea. Is there any other ideas you want to talk about in terms of the tournament setup?
I think the final could be spiced up a little bit if we were to have a like no same class a second time rule, because then people have to, because we have players who play basically triple melee, and then
only duels,
if it works, it works. Then so that's kind of tricky. I feel like some would have to at least sacrifice the starting options, but then RNG is kind of a bad thing. And then if the losers bracket were to be there, like how do you work in the skills that they've previously used and all this sort of stuff?
That'd definitely be kind of hard. A bit of planning to figure that out.
Yeah, and then also at the same time, how do you even run the finals? Like, does the guy from the losers bracket has to win twice in the same race, or is it two different races?
Yeah. And would the viewers want to watch the same race twice in a row in the finals? So there's a lot of planning to go on there.
Yeah. I don't know. I think some of these things. Definitely, I would like to see a no repeated class.
I think that is almost a guarantee at this point. That will be on top of the main skill exclusive for next weekend. So you can look forward to that. Any of the racers listening, they can look forward to that as well.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to potentially more strategies like what we saw from you today, Rise, coming out of people being forced onto some different classes. Dude,
strategies like mine. Yeah, strategies like mine, but good. Yeah, I would look forward to that.
Just a little bit more polish, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, a little bit more polish.
How much more polish can RaizQT get?
The moment you swapped into that blink arrow, though, someone in chat mentioned that you were planning on some blink arrow. And the moment you swapped into that with the flame dash and you did that run through that first zone where you just did this like elegant back and forth swap, nailing the cooldowns, I was like,
I'm not gonna lie, it felt great. Like
it looked fast.
I felt on top of the world playing it, and I didn't have the chat up or anything, so I didn't know how bad I was doing, but I was like, whoa, this feels really good. I think I'm doing great. And I didn't have a practice run, and then the race finishes, it's like, you're fourth by like 10 minutes. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, it makes sense. Story seems to add up.
I think you can onslaught somehow. It'd be a bit better.
Yeah, onslaught certainly hurts. But the other thing I noticed was like your early game, like clearing with Contagion, Essence Train, yada yada. It was just super sexy, but that damage at the end though is just awful, and doesn't seem like anything you can do about that.
Yeah, I didn't plan to go in at level 21. I planned to go to get level 24, but then I seemed really tanky, and I had like 3 links. So I'm like, let's try it out. And yeah, I mean, I didn't die, so there's that.
You did it. Yeah. Does it does the extra levels even make that much difference for the single target? Does it have the potential to pan out, do you think?
Possibly. The big problem was that, the biggest struggle is like optimizing your links, honestly, and that's pretty much the biggest thing about Contagion, and also getting an early +1, just because it's so easy, because you don't need an alteration like you do with other abilities, so you can just have a blue wand and then use a poison gem, and that's how you get your +1. So getting 2 +1s is really easy, and that really boosts up your speed if you're good with your town.
True. Would you see using like your movement skill strategy with like a different setup, or is it only really synergized with the Contagion?
I'm not sure. I can definitely see it working with Blade Vortex, but I don't know how far you could take something like that. I mean, in general, having a bow out, regardless of like the length of the race, it seems like it's beneficial, because even Leap Slam can benefit from it if you're like fast enough, especially if you've got that juicy attack speed, which I didn't have any of. So I'm sure you can utilize this in many ways, but it's I was tryharding pretty hard with this, so it's pretty difficult to work it into like an optimized Sleep Slam build.
It was awesome to see, man. And I have to ask a question about the semifinals. What happened with the Floss, bro? He gave me a heart attack during that race. Just an unending, like, 20-minute heart attack, I swear.
I could not get any wisdom scrolls or portals or anything. It was getting to a point where I was like, I have to sell my blacksmith stone. I had one blacksmith stone that I was just like, I gotta sell it. Like, I can't get a flask. I'm about to have blood rage, which would deal more damage to me than I would heal with my flasks. But then, yeah, despite the awkward oak fight, somehow it ended up working out. And yeah, I was pretty happy.
It was nutty, man. When I saw you walking into that Mervale fight with still the small life flask, but then you played it perfectly and just like didn't get hit the whole fight. But I was tearing my hair out at that point, man. That was well done. Highly entertaining. Stressful.
I was pretty lucky there.
You're talking up to luck. Okay, fair enough. I think you played it well. Very entertaining, good. Thank you for that.
Well, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I had a ton of fun.
It was a ton of fun to cast.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, I'd like to thank you again for joining us for this interview, Raiz, and congratulations on your finish and making it to the finals. We look forward to seeing you again in the future weeks and maybe on the casting desk too at some point. That could be exciting.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm all up for everything.
Nice. That's what I want to hear. All about them races.
Hell yeah. All right. Thanks again, guys. Have fun.
No problem.
Thanks, Raiz.
Thank you. That is the conclusion of our events today. The grand final is over. DeadandDoom claiming first place, Goratha claiming second, Heshla third, and RaizQT with fourth place. Wow, what an exciting finish.
Oh, dude, that was an epic weekend of racing action. I feel like they're probably just going to get better and better as well as we like continue working on fun rule sets and different race types we can do, and the players just get better and better. More crazy stuff like I didn't think, like, you know, with ghosted Vals and stuff last weekend, I didn't think we'd see some even crazier stuff this week. But
yeah, every weekend seems to be panning out and paying off in some fashion or another. So I'm just looking forward to next weekend. Players and viewers, spectators, you can probably expect an announcement, I'd say around Tuesday or Wednesday, for what this weekend will hold. I'll be contacting the players and doing some design work tonight on next weekend. I'll be finalizing those details very soon. So without further ado, I'm Havoc616. This was Ziggy D.
And thanks for watching.
See everyone next time.
Oh, we nailed it this time.
Nice.